everybody? Happy Monday and welcome to Chart Request Live. I'm here with my esteemed colleague, Alfonso de Pablos. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you, Sam?
I'm doing good. Kansas City
I,
Chiefs are now 7-0, best in the league. It was a great weekend here in Kansas. Anything exciting going on for you?
well, related to sports, my team in Europe, Barcelona, beat Real Madrid 4-0. So
Let's
very happy.
go.
Everything,
That's a good
It's
weekend.
yeah, it's going well. So very happy for that.
Right on. Cool. Well, small caps, Alfonso. We are now in the best 3 months of the year.
Yep.
It's November, December, January. We should see be the best 3 months of the year following the election. Small caps in particular should participate to the upside. It looks like a big
Yeah.
sloppy mess right now, but do you think there's a setup here? Do you think you buy the
Yeah.
breakout? We get it?
There's definitely a setup for small caps. November represents like the best month for this kind of stocks. I like also to look at IJR.
Yes.
Um,
So this is like the 600. This is
Exactly.
small
Yeah,
caps that
that's
have earnings.
exactly. That's correct. If you zoom out, price has been consolidating in that range, right at below overhead supply. For me, it's very hard to think this bull market will end without this base breakout,
Totally.
potential breakout here.
And it's
So
right there. It has acknowledged this prior cycle high and it has
yep,
consolidated straight sideways since then. It hasn't really
yeah.
corrected towards the downside. It looks
Hmm.
very
And you
constructive.
remember, I mean, when I look at this chart, I remember in 2016 when Trump was elected, that massive rally. So I don't know. I have that feeling. Um,
So
yeah,
this is
right
what it
there.
looked like. This is the candle we got after the election in 2016. You
Are we
got
gonna get?
10.5% in a single week.
Are we gonna get a similar candle? I don't know, but let's see. Let's see. I
Yeah, I
mean,
think
it's
that's what the
definitely
kids
shape.
would call a God candle.
Oh, I like it. I like it. I like it. So, I mean, for me, it's definitely shaping up. Buyers have been absorbing overhead supply at this resistance level, and if we get a decisive breakout of this base, we will have a fresh leg higher. Some sector rotation maybe will be very healthy for this bull market. So let's see.
For sure. And look at 2020 as well, Alfonso. It wasn't just
Mhm.
2016, but small caps broke out to new all-time highs. It wasn't really
Yeah,
the
November,
week
December.
of the election, but it was pretty damn soon after.
Yeah. So let's see. Let's see.
Yeah. Cool. Well, let's get into the mailbag, Alfonso. What do you say?
Yeah, let's do it. Zach is asking us about Roblox, RBLX.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, this is a
yeah,
really interesting one.
Estrosa has been looking for ARC stuff, risk on stuff. Um, Definitely, he wants to know what is like the best benchmark for Roblox. So I'm looking here, and I think ARC definitely will make a lot of sense. It represents 6% of that index. So I will say ARC. It's an ARC name.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. It's definitely an ARChy name. So this is Roblox benchmarked to the S&P, but as you were just talking about, let's see it benchmarked to ARC versus its peers. So there it is.
Mhm.
And we're kind of, yeah, not a laggard, not a leader. I'm just somewhere in the middle versus its peers. But I think the setup is very clear in absolute terms. You have this VWAP anchored to this prior cycle high, which is the all-time high from late 2021, which preceded a massive drawdown. You got almost 85% downside in this stock in the last bear market, and you've just consolidated in a huge rounding bottom. So I really want to start buying the stock if it's above 44, you can call it 43 and a half. That range, though, will get you towards this 50, 51 level. And then that's when the party really gets started. That's when the primary trend has officially reversed higher, and the path of least resistance will shift towards this 140 level.
Yeah,
but let's take
higher.
it one step at a time. We're still below this VWAP.
Higher. That's a nice random bottom formation. The bigger the collapse, the longer it needs for to repair that damage. It has been carving out of this reversal pattern for over 2 years. And what you're saying here, what I like about this chart is that you have like two different ways, in my opinion, to play this one. I mean, you can anticipate like a potential breakout here if you like it above the VWAP from the all-time highs, or just wait for more conviction above the upper ends of this base around 51, 52, as you mentioned. So you have that trade-off between timing and conviction in this case. So it's giving us that opportunity to play it in different ways.
Definitely. And once you do get this primary trend reversal, I think this one could really rip for some time.
Yeah, and also
there's not a lot of overhead supply here. It's kind of like a Robin Hood chart, one of those.
Exactly. It's the same pattern. Look at ARC, W, ARC F, RQ, even ARC. Similar pattern. They are resolving higher from this consolidation. So I will expect Roblox to complete that base at the end.
For sure. What else do we have?
Let's take Nick. Nick wants to take a look at CTAS, Cintas. Now that the 210 level was reached, what's the next level to watch for?
Cool. This has been the most
beautiful uptrend in the past few years.
Yeah.
I mean,
$84 billion stock, and this is the
an industrial.
Yeah. Uniform rental. Okay.
Yeah.
What a business.
84 billion company.
Yeah.
Wow.
And look at this. I mean, this was like the not a top of all not a tops. I mean, that was so not a top. So if you bought the failed breakdown from this not a top, you made 4,500% and a little bit over a decade. So this has been a winner.
Look at this uptrend. I mean, prior to that massive consolidation, like that.
And uptrend. I love how it started with that failed move as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this is how I see it. Is this how you draw your lines?
Yeah, that's a way. The other way you can add some fib extension levels, more short term, is from the COVID drawdown.
Yes.
So price will be like right there.
All right, let's see what that looks like. Yeah, so we respected it. In this prior cycle, we consolidated here for almost a year, really, before resolving higher, taking out this extension level, and now we're taking out another extension level. We're above $200 for the first time in history. So you have that $200 roll in effect right now. And it seems like we're just consolidating sideways here for now, though. Last week we sold off pretty good and put us back into this range. So I think it holds above 200, but it would make sense to me for the stock to consolidate here.
Yeah, I mean,
a week or like who knows how long, but sometime.
I don't know how long, but definitely, for example, the relative trend looks amazing. This is a clear leader in the space, has been ripping higher. So I think from a risk management standpoint and identifying, I mean, look at that 14 period RSI on a daily basis on a bullish momentum regime. Beautiful. But for a risk management standpoint, I think about 200, the bias is still higher. Below 200, I will starting to think more sideways action. But as long as we're about 200, I think the bias is higher. I think 300s ultimately.
Definitely, yeah. I think that psychological level of 200 is also a good way to define your risk. So that
Mm-hmm.
trend is higher if above 200 and skeptical if it's below.
Yeah,
I like that,
I like it.
Alfonso. But the relative strength is off the charts from this one.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic chart. It was Nick that brought this to us.
Yeah, Nick.
Wow, Nick. Shout
That was
out,
a great
Nick.
one. Yeah, that was a good one. Do you want to take a look at the next one?
Yeah, let's do it.
So Kareem asking us for Atex Resources. The symbol is ATX. I think it is a Canadian company, maybe. I'm not sure. Yeah, that one, Atex
Yeah.
Resources.
Yep. So,
So let's take a look at that one.
do we have an OTC?
Let me see. I don't see it.
Yeah, we
No.
do.
We have? Okay.
Yep. ECRTF. This is the
Okay.
OTC. Yeah, I don't know about this one, Alfonso. I think this is not liquid enough for me to
Let's
have
take a
an
look
opinion
at.
about.
Yeah, it's hard to have an opinion. I mean, if you go to the Canadian one, it's resolving higher from that base. Yeah, take a look at that one. I don't know if he's looking
Yeah,
at
this
this
is
one.
too small for us to cover, Alfonso. This is
Yeah,
less than half a
300
billion.
million.
So we try to
Mhm.
stick to above a billion around here.
Yeah, but from a chart perspective, it's breaking out above I think 150.
Yeah. I think,
Yeah,
yeah, you could use this pivot high from
yeah, like
2023 to define your risk against.
yeah,
Just,
yeah. But it's too small. Not too much liquidity here. Too risky. But I think those are the levels you can use: 150 or 175 or 165. Yeah, 165.
Yeah, the trend is definitely higher here. I don't hate
Yeah,
this.
yeah, exactly.
But it's
That's
just not
that's
liquid
enough.
enough. So
Let's
let's move
take a
on.
look now. Gerber is asking us which one of these stocks is showing more strength and better by PayPal or Square.
Ooh, good question. So let's start out with,
Great question. Yeah.
let's start out with benchmarking them versus each other. So this is a ratio. This line's going up. PayPal's doing better. The line's going down. Square is doing better. So let's zoom out a little bit, get some context around this. It looks like PayPal initially outperformed Square in the last cycle, and then Square really had some outperformance there. Really, that stopped in late 2020, and it's been sideways since then.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a mess.
Yeah, it is. It has been a mess over the last several years.
Yeah, sometimes PayPal outperforms. Some other times Square's outperformed, at least in the past 3 years. Yeah, let's take a look at those charts.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at PayPal.
So when the ratio looks like that, what it comes down to me, it's just the absolute trend. Which setup is cleaner? Is PayPal cleaner? Does it have a really clear level of resistance that the market is telling you is important? And it doesn't really seem like that's the case. There's nothing that screams at me off the chart here, but they're very, very similar setups. I think you want to.
Yeah, for example, here in Square, what we are seeing is bearish to bullish reversal formation carving out right now. Prices, it's trying to approach to the upper ends of this base that coincide with the VWAP from the all-time highs. definitely. I mean, you had marked it up like a failed top information um, in that happened this year.
Yeah, into
Sam,
the square. Yeah,
in the square.
yeah. I'll go back.
Yeah, go back to square. Uh, exactly right there, like a failed top
And then
has
that
been
week
high.
of August 7th,
Hmm.
August 5th really was the date, right?
Exactly. So
That is when it bottomed. So we are making new highs off of that low at the moment. That's the
so
setup.
what would you do? Will you wait for 87, 88?
E- It depends. If you bought that low, then I would be holding right now. But if I didn't buy this failed breakdown, then I would wait. I think for both of these, I only want them on strength above the all-time high anchored VWAP,
Beautiful,
as that
because
confirms the
that's a
completion
confluence.
of this primary trend reversal.
Yeah, that's
Until
a
that
confluence
happens,
of
it seems to be
resistance.
messy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. I agree with you. That's a confluence of resistance around, yeah, 88. Let's say 88 for square.
Yeah.
Yeah, go
And
back
I kind
to.
of like the square more because you have that clear level, and then with PayPal, it's not as clear of a level. So let's stick with square. They asked which vehicle is better for our
The thing
performance.
with PayPal, you have to try to zoom out a little bit. It tried to break down on a
Yeah,
below support. It scooped higher. So I think, I mean, for PayPal, I think you can, maybe you can use like 76 level
so you're
around that level.
saying this is the base breakout level more right here,
Yeah, yeah, it's
and then you
gonna,
get confirmation at this VWAP,
yeah. But definitely for,
95,
yeah,
94.
but PayPal has been showing a little bit of relative strength, has been giving us more like opportunities in the past. We have taken some advantage of them. So I think Square might be ready or in the process of a catch-up trade. But for me, a confirmation above 88 for Square, and I would like more that setup.
Yeah, no, these are both good setups though. And I think if Bitcoin and crypto is about to break out, I think both of these vehicles have some exposure to that as well, right? So that could be, it's kind of a crypto trade, but not really. What do you think about that?
Yeah. PayPal?
Like PayPal and Square as vehicles for expressing a bullish thesis on crypto, or is that too cute? Or are
Um,
these just fintech companies?
yeah, I mean, I think we have plenty of crypto stocks that have more correlation and act as a better vehicle for crypto. MicroStrategy, of course,
Yeah,
even Robinhood, Coinbase, all these miners that have been ripping higher. So yeah, I will say that.
cool, good answer. What else do we have to look at?
Yeah, let's take a look at some of the chat. If you want to send us your ticker symbols, send it in the chat. So let's start with, I mean, Mark, RBRK. How about that one?
Mark is asking for the RBRK.
Yeah.
So this is Rubrik.
Yep.
Can't
Ooh,
say
I
I've
like
heard of
it.
this one before. It's a new
I
issue,
like
it
it,
looks like.
man. Yeah,
Seven
I
and a
mean,
half billion dollar tech stock. Hey,
mhm.
they do some cloud stuff. Okay,
So
super cool.
I think we found like my favorite stock for the day.
Yeah, wow, this is the chart of the day. Right off the
Yeah, for
bat.
me, yeah, that was a good one, Mark.
Wow. So we are getting overbought on that 14-day RSI to confirm this breakout above the IPO price. I think the path of least resistance is towards 47, that first extension from this base. I think you want to be long above 40. I think that's a pretty clear level. to
Yep.
define risk against. So 40 gets you to 47. And if you get above 47, I think you can get 59 from there. But this looks amazing and as good as anything in tech right now, really. Can you name a
Yeah.
better tech chart than this, Alfonso? I
Sorry?
would have to take a few minutes to come up with something.
No, I mean,
This looks great.
beautiful chart. We don't have too much history as other companies or stocks, but I think this is enough to define risk
Yeah.
and trade against that level. I really like that 40 level. That's the IPO high. So beautiful base.
This one looks ready to run. Like there's no bag holders here. This is a new
Yep.
issue.
Mm-hmm.
I like this a lot.
I like it. I like
Kind of
it a
reminds me
lot.
of the Reddit, Alfonso.
Very similar. I mean, very, very similar. Yep. Not just that it tried to break out about the IPO high above 75 back in July. It failed, and now it's going. So yeah, but definitely stronger names, strong names.
Yeah. I love the whole new issue philosophy too. It's like you have no bag holders. It's a new issue. It's making new all-time highs. Blue skies only for these stocks. I like these a lot. What else, Alfonso?
So let's take a look at Guess World is asking us about VST, CEG, or now. Let's take a look at those three real quick.
Yeah. So VST, this is $44 billion now. It's one of those AI utilities. It gets bunched in that conversation, but making new all-time highs here, consolidating below
Beautiful.
this key extension level. This is the way I see it. I only want to buy this one on strength above 132 and a half. If you want to be aggressive with it, you could jump that with the recapture of this VWAP anchored to the all-time high. So that would be about 130. So that would save you about $2.50 on your entry if you were to do it that way. But yeah, if you're above 132 and a half, the path of least resistance continues to be higher for this one. 173 and a quarter, I think, is the next stop. And let's show some context on this one too, Alfonso.
Yeah,
I think that's important.
Somehow a little bit drops on fib extensions because 123 also it's like the floor of this small consolidation that you're mentioning. So you can buy on a strength about 132, or you can buy some weakness towards 123, 120. That will make sense too. So that will depend on your risk management and risk tolerance. That's for sure. But this is a beautiful uptrend, making new all-time highs on both absolute and relative basis. The other side, positive momentum. This one marks all the characteristics of a strong primary uptrend. And look at that.
This is as good as anything out there, Alfonso. This has been a huge winner.
Earnings on November 7th, so just to keep in mind.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's earnings season, so
yeah,
great.
No, but beautiful chart. We can take a look at real quick again to CEG.
Yes, you're right. So they asked about CEG and now, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so very similar setup here. It's like an identical chart. It's just that you don't have the history here with this chart, but everything else is identical.
It looks exactly the same.
Let's see if it's benchmarked to each other. Is it just a straight line sideways? No, it is not. Let's see. VST is outperforming.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yep. Yeah, VST strong. And let's take a look at now.
Yeah. So now this is a big boy. Let's see. It's now just below $200 billion. I saw their commercials on TV all weekend long. They were really pounding the commercials on the college football, the service now. But this is a leader in the tech sector. For sure, this one is above its first extension level from this prior drawdown. ServiceNow suffered a just a little bit over 50% drawdown during the
Wow.
last bear market. But we are above this extension level, so 933 gets you to 1300. That's a
Wow.
pretty good move there.
And look how the recent move started with a failed breakdown
It's a great point.
below that prior cycle high. So it went like very strong at that moment, recaptured the prior cycle highs, rip higher, reaching the 161 extension level. Definitely a leader, and it's great that Guess World and Jeremiah they're asking us similar stocks, because Jeremiah is asking us about ASML, and it looks very like the exact opposite, right?
Yeah.
It was challenging the prior cycle highs, and it failed to hold that level, and it's breaking down. So let's take a look at ASML.
Yeah, I also really love this relative trend for the now.
Beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful.
But let's move on to ASML. Yeah, just like you're talking about, right when Now was putting in that failed breakdown, ASML was putting in that failed breakout. And here you are. You really want to dig in here, because this was an important level for some time. This really a pretty big range, but it goes from like 700 to 750, I would say, is where the bulls really need to defend. And they're on their last line here at 706. Really don't want to see this with a six handle.
Try to overlay
handle, like maybe you're breaking this low, like on the relative trend, and that's not a good look.
Try to overlay both Now and ASML to see that difference. One resolving higher, the other one resolving lower, but more or less the same logic around that prior cycle highs. Yeah, that's it.
So there it is. Failed breakdown here. And then I guess it was like a month later when you got that move in ASML. But really pretty interesting how that happened. So you'd assume if it's a bull market, ASML digs in here, doesn't break down, and it catches up to Now. That's kind of the bet you want to make, right?
Yeah, I mean, ideally
in a bull market. That's the
I agree with you, but I really I don't like that behavior of ASML. I mean, below the prior cycle highs, I think I don't like it too much. I mean, I know it can bounce on the level that you are highlighting. There is a positive or a bullish momentum regime right now, but still, work to do. I'm below overhead supply. It is a no touch for me, at least for me.
Yeah. I think it's very important to keep an eye on, though, if you are betting on NVIDIA continuing to make new all-time highs. ASML is a very important stock inside of the semiconductor industry. So I think there's great information there. Thanks for bringing that to our attention, Alfonso.
Yeah, no. Shout out to Jeremiah that asked us about ASML.
Shout out, Jeremiah.
Let's change a little bit topics. This is too much tech for us right now. So let's take a look at ARLP.
Yes.
How about that one?
Now you're talking my language.
This is a cool name.
Almost 11% dividend. Wow.
It's beautiful. I mean, that base is beautiful. I mean, zoom out a little bit. Wow. A well-deserved consolidation from 2022 until today.
Definitely. Let's measure that move.
Let's do it, because you will find something interesting there.
almost 1,000% off the 2020 lows. Monster move. It wasn't just this one. You saw the whole coal industry rip off the 2020 lows. They were some of the best stocks in the market at the time. But this one
Mhm.
is taking a break at a very logical level. It's the 38.2 retracement of this massive drawdown. The stock was almost a zero. It was in a 95+% drawdown from 2014 to 2020. So this is a very well-deserved digestion of gains, as you said, but we are above 22, so the path of least resistance remains higher for this one towards this 34 level, and then after that you have 53. What do you
So
think,
now,
though, Alfonso? Should I zoom in on this chart and just like fib out this
no.
piece?
I like the way you have it. But for me, the risk, like the risk level that this stock is like respecting more, it's like the 20 around 26. That
Right. Yeah.
represents that high around the 2022 peak and the 2016, like the November 2016 peak. So if you want like a confirmation for this one, yeah, for me that's the level.
Right.
Um,
That's a great point,
and
Alfonso. Former resistance turning into support, or former support turning into resistance the other way.
yeah,
But this is
exactly.
exactly how they draw it up in the textbooks.
Yeah. So yeah, despite that retracement, the 38% retracement, it's around 22. I think for me, the line in the sign is 26
Yeah.
on this one.
26 and a half even, if you
Yeah,
want to be
yeah,
generous
exactly.
with it.
Yeah, that range.
Yeah, but if you're above there, you want the prior cycle high, right? Or the all-time high
Exactly.
from
Yeah,
2014.
yeah.
So that's a good
Probably.
move. Like that's almost a double from here. Plus, you're
Yeah.
collecting your 11% dividend yield. I
And
don't
this
hate
one,
this.
and this one is just a 3 billion company,
Yeah.
so it has a lot of room to go. So let's take a look. BBWI.
Bath and Body Works. So this is now $6.5 billion stock.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at a monthly chart here. We've struggled with this 80 level for some time. Back in 2021, late 2021, we retested it and we have just completely fallen apart since then. Not a great look for this stock. Alfonso, this kind of just looks like the inverse of most charts that we look at. Just like big smiley face and then a big handle. It's
Mm-hmm.
just this stock sucks. Let's look at comparative relative strength. This is versus the S&P 500. This stock has already lost this shelf of former lows on a relative basis. We're breaking down to new multi-year lows. Path of
Yeah,
least
not good.
resistance is towards this 2020 low. So I think the absolute trend follows this relative trend, and it just continues to be a laggard. I think we lose this 26 level, 26 to 28.
Yeah, there is no alpha for me. It
I
is a
think there
massive.
could be if you're shorting it, right? Like,
Oh, okay.
if you're looking for
Yeah,
shorts in this market, this is one of the best. No?
yeah. I agree. I
Consumer
agree with
stock.
that. But only below what, 26?
Right, yes.
Yeah, right.
But that level's so clear, 26 and a half.
Yeah, that level it's very clear, and the relative trend here the cheat code it's the relative trend that it's
Yeah.
breaking down and making new relative lows. So that's what we sometimes like to watch as a catalyst for the absolute trend too.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about here is like losing this level right here. We lost it in July. So typically we see the absolute price trend follow the relative trend. You see it all the time. Um, and
Yeah,
if you want to own the best stocks, you can literally objectively define the best stocks. And you can buy the stocks with the most relative strength. And on the flip side of that, you can short the absolute worst stocks in the market, and BBWI is on that list of really, really bad stocks.
Yeah, and Mandip, this stock sucks. Yeah, for long, yes, but it may be a good short if it breaks below 26. So be mindful of that. Let's do a couple more. Bill is asking us a squeeze on NKLA. Let's take a look at that one.
Yeah, how fun. So this is kind of like if
Oh my
it's a
gosh.
higher beta Tesla is the idea here, Alfonso.
Oh my
So
god.
you're bullish
Yeah.
Tesla. I think you want to be bullish Rivian and Nikola
Yeah,
and
you think
all of
so?
these. I think you do, right? Like, do you want to bet on them going the opposite direction? I certainly don't. Let's see. First,
I mean,
before we
the
decide on
only
this,
direction I see for Nikola is it's down
yeah,
so far.
of course, yeah, like over longer time frames. But if Tesla's ripping it 20% in a single day, this stock's probably following suit.
I mean,
Like it looks
today
like
is
it's doing
raping,
today.
that's for sure. But I
So
mean, I don't know.
this one
Yeah.
has 28% short interest and 4 days to cover. One of the worst stocks in the market. It's probably a zero. It's $300 million right now. But can this stock go to $7 before it's zero? That's the question. I think it has a good chance to do that. Um,
So, what are you doing here? Like, how will you play this one?
so here's how I see it. This is resistance right now, is this 5.5. But if you're above 5.5, I think there's a chance that you get something close to $7, $7 to $7.50.
Okay.
I really like how price has been making new lows while momentum has been making higher lows. So you have a bullish divergence there. You have the 14-day RSI making new highs. It's at its highest level since earlier this year around Easter. So there's a lot going on here, but just remember what you're trading. This stock is likely a zero before long. This is purely just a trading vehicle. So be very careful with this one. Keep your risk very tight.
Yeah. I like it. I mean, I like the way you explain it. The alternative you're giving me and giving us on how to play this one. It is a potential short squeeze name, of course, a
Right.
lot of short
But this
interest
is
that can.
something you just want to be in for like a single day, Alfonso. Like if
Yeah. Like a
above
very
here, like you're
tactical,
probably
very
getting
short
here in a
term.
single day.
Yeah, no, exactly. This is a great explanation. This is not like a long term or a intermediate term. No, this is a very short term, tactical, potential trade that it's not for everybody. Definitely not for me.
Not for the
I
faint
will.
of heart.
No, I mean I like short squeeze names. That's for sure. But because of the primary downtrend and the market cap, I don't know. I mean, I'm not convinced
Yeah,
on this
and
one.
it's a counter trend move, I think is what you're saying, is that
Exactly.
primary trend
But
is down, but you can get some
everything
nasty
that you
counter trend
explained,
moves where it doubles.
exactly, and
Like we're
everything
literally
you
looking at the
explained
stock
makes sense.
doubling in a matter of weeks in this counter trend move. That's what we're
Yep.
talking about here.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, it was very well explained. So that was a good one. So now let's take a look at TLN. What do you
Talen
think?
Energy.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. $9 billion and okay, it's a wholesaler of electricity. So, what do we have going on here? A new issue came out early this year, or late last year,
Mm-hmm.
mid last year. Is this an ADR? It kind of looks that way.
Let me take a look.
Nope, from Houston, Texas. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So it just looked pretty illiquid back here for a while, and like it's a $9 billion stock, so that kind of surprised me.
Mhm.
So where do you even
I mean, beautiful
pick
option
this
at the end
up?
of the
Yeah,
day.
it's just an uptrend. There's nothing to really fib out here.
Exactly.
It's hard for me to
So
help you out here.
yeah, maybe you can drop like a VWAP from the all-time high
Yeah,
from, I don't know, September 26. We're above that level. It's a tight consolidation, like a 1 month consolidation. It's very similar the one we saw during the summer, July and August, and we ultimately broke out to new highs. So the primary trend is up. Look at momentum in a bullish regime. Yeah, like the relative trend looking good too.
yeah.
So
This is a winner for sure. It's
yeah,
just hard to
it's a winner.
define risk and objectives with this one. Like I think you can define risk against like an anchored view up like you're talking about, or you can like try to buy the breakout. I'm not sure. It's they didn't mention like a 3 to 6 month time frame or anything like that in the chat.
Hmm.
You don't see anything like that, Alfonso?
No, man.
No? Okay. Interesting.
No,
So
it
they
is.
report on November 14th. I think that's
Okay.
important as well. Options premiums are probably pretty juiced right now. And this has made some pretty big moves. Like last earnings, it was
Mhm.
up 6%. And yeah, that was the last one. Anything else you'd like to say about this one?
I
The
mean, no,
winner?
I think. Sorry.
It's a winner. That's about it.
Yeah, it's a winner. I mean, strong uptrend both on both absolute and relative trends, consolidating very similar to the consolidation we saw in the summer above the VWAP from the all-time highs. I think, yeah, you can take a shot about the VWAP or that resistance level around 200 or 190. That will make sense. A strong option, and I think that's it. No more comments on this one.
Yeah.
Um, so let's
Anything
let's
else from the
finish
chat?
with let's finish with the S&P. Trey
Cool.
want to take a look at the S&P, so let's finish with the most important index.
Is it the most important index?
Yeah, I mean the Dow. Yeah,
No, I agree. S&P is important.
yeah,
That's
of
like
course,
what money managers are benchmarking themselves to.
exactly.
That's the way I see it.
So
So yeah, like this is what I've been drawing my fibs from is this July peak to this August low because this was a really, really important day, right? August 5th, like that was the low for the S&P. Um, right? It was kind of one of those you go back to 2022 and you had that CPI come out and S&P is making new multi-year lows, and then they come out and reverse it intraday. And it was one of those kind of feelings, Alfonso. Do you have the same feeling about that August 5th? It was just like it just hit you in the
it was,
face. Like, wow, that was the
yeah,
low right there.
yeah, that was a tactical low to buy the dip. That's for sure. Also, you can draw the fib extension from the prior cycle highs from 2022,
Yeah.
and you will see a lot of indexes. For example, the QQQ, yeah, below. Yeah, exactly. The S&P is above, and the Nasdaq 100 is below this level. That's interesting.
And it's
So.
also, I think, important to note that the market acknowledged this level. This is where we stopped going up in July. This is where we
Mhm.
stopped going up before we had that August 5th puke. So the market has told us that these Fibonacci levels matter, and we're not just crazy people drawing lines on charts. So with that in mind, we are above that level, making new all-time highs here. So we want to be
That's correct.
long, like with a target of 700, right? Like that is the move.
Yeah, I think that's the move. Also, take a look at the Nasdaq 100
Mhm.
QQQ. The
Yes,
same fib extension. Price is below, but if we break out, yeah, I think there are more opportunities.
but it's the same story here, Alfonso. Like the market
Yeah,
is
exactly.
telling us
Same
we're
story.
not crazy. These lines matter. 500 is
Hmm.
very important for this Nasdaq 100.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, that's right. I mean,
Who is asking about this?
Trey was
Trey.
asking about that.
Shout out
Yep,
Trey.
yep.
I like it. Well, should we leave it here for the day, Alfonso?
Yeah, let's leave it here for today. It was a very good show.
It was.
Um,
We had some
what,
interesting stuff. We had some
what,
energy
what was
stocks. We had
your
some short
favorite?
squeezes.
What was your favorite
I'd
part?
say the NKLA, Nikola, for the short squeeze. I'm kind of a junkie for the short squeezes. So thank you for
I will
bringing that to
stay.
us.
I will stay with RBRK, that new
Yeah.
issue, that IPO base, beautiful. Also CTAS, strong uptrend, and within a stronger industry group and sector as industrials. So
Yeah, it's like a
yeah,
textbook industrial chart. Like it,
I
you
mean,
look at a monthly chart, like going out over a decade, and then it just like it just goes up. Like there are no bear markets for this stock.
yeah, it was a great show. I mean, a lot of tech, a lot of industrials, new names, short squeeze names. Yeah, as always, the chat giving us the best individual stocks, that's for sure.
Yes, they are. I love you dearly, chat. Thank you all for being here today. Have a great week, and we'll be back with you later. Don't miss the morning show, 8:30 Eastern Time every weekday. Be there tomorrow. Do you know who the guest is tomorrow?
I have no
No?
idea.
All
Who's the
right.
guest? You know?
There's going to be a guest. So be there tomorrow. We'll see you later, everybody. Thank you so much for being here.